Okay, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to blend two colors together. Often it's going to be fading from dark to light or light to dark to show value, but using acrylic color. Okay, so we're using acrylic paint, and I love acrylic paint because it is so much more forgiving in terms of mixing things together. It's also very fluid, it just feels nice. I just really love it. So let's say you're trying to do something like this, where you have one color and you're fading it from a darkness because you're trying to show light source, right? Like the light source is coming here, this side, and so you have light over here and dark over here on the opposite sides, right? So you need to show that fade from black all the way to a shade of green, to a lighter shade of green, to green, and then finally a tint of green, or like a, green mixed with white, right? So you're gonna show that so that you have, it looks like you have volume, like real things in real space, okay? So how do you show that in a way that you can rely on, okay? So this is different than how you would do it with watercolor, and I think it's a lot more fun. So let's say you've already started your composition, and this is it, right? So if I'm using green, for example, green would be my hue. This is sort of a bluish green. I have a light source that was going this way, right? So here on my spear, we have light. This is almost white, and then it fades back to black, right? We have this nice fade, okay? And it's okay if it's not completely smooth. Sometimes it looks really nice to have little strokes visible. We call that painterly. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I would do the bottle. Okay, so again, we're trying to create this gradient, from dark to green to light. So the first thing I would do is I would go right into black. I'm going to get my brush a little bit wet, not a lot, but it helps to get it a little bit wet before you go into your color. So I'm going to get into my black. Now I know that black has to go here. I'm going to get some black on my brush, not too much, and I'm going to hold my brush like this, and I'm going to hug this edge of the bottle. Hold it like a pencil so that you're not holding it out here, you're holding it here so you have really good control. Now I notice already that as I do this, my paint is not flowing so well, so I need to put a little water on this, okay? This is going to help me mix with other colors a lot easier. It's also going to help me paint better. So when you have a lot of nice flow with your paint, you can easily control it, but if it's too dry, you'll start to make mistakes. So you want to make sure you have the right amount of water in your color. Okay, now quickly, I'm going to wash up my brush. Tap, tap, blot, blot, go into my green, and I'm going to go right, let me get a lot of green on my brush. I'm going to go right next to this. So start up here, I'm going to go right next to this. And as I do this, I can start to blend the two together. So I'm actually going to go like right over the black. So you see they start to fade together. So you're like essentially mixing your shade in real time, like as you go. You're just going to paint your lighter hue right over your black, and you get this really nice fade from a black to a shade of your hue just by going right over it, okay? And I'm going to draw it out a little bit more. I'm going to put some water on this because it's not flowing very well. A little more water. We want to make sure we have a lot of really nice, easy mixing. Now it looks like it's black and then green, so we don't want that, right? So I'm going to go back into my black. This is the cool thing about working with acrylics, is that you can kind of do this a lot easier. Is you can go back into something else, and you can start to blend them together. So now I'm going to use a little more green. So we have this nice green shade right here. And I'm gonna add some more straight up green to this. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring a little more green over here. And as I do that, I'm gonna add it up here to the neck as well. Make sure you have some water on your brush so that you can really mix things. Okay, and then I'm gonna again go back over it and blend. So now it's starting to fade really nicely. And then I'm gonna get some white on my brush. I'm gonna go right over the green on that edge because I wanna mix that tint. And I'm gonna make sure I work in curves so I can show the volume of that, the bottle. So again, working with the acrylic color is like a lot more forgiving, I find, than the watercolor. Okay, now it's not perfect, but we're getting there. Now I would take just a wet brush, and I'm gonna start blending a little bit more with that. So now I'm gonna go back with just a wet brush. And now I'm gonna blend even more. Again, this is just a wet, clean brush. And this just smooths things out and blends a little bit more for you. This is another way you can control it. And last but not least, I'm gonna go in with my white. Make sure you have a clean brush. And I have this final edge of the bottle. And you might want to leave it kind of streaky like that to show that reflection. Okay, now again, not perfect, but you get the idea. You can really just put your black on first and then go right over it with your color, and then keep going back over and over, layer, 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 and then you'll see it blend. And when you want more blending, go in with your clean, just a clean water brush, and you can blend even more. This is like the final touch to make it even smoother, to move things around. Okay.